What's up? What's up, man? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment here again with another one this morning. Hit that like, subscribe to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications too. Okay, so you can get all of my content. Please hit them notifications. YouTube messing with me. Love them anyways though. Look, now remember I had already talked about John Wall. I've been. This will be the fourth time to my recollection that I have actually talked about John Wall, but the situation's not getting any better. Meanwhile, you got his friend in DeMarcus Cousins that he's willing to do whatever is necessary to play, and on top of that, he's already got a deal signed with Milwaukee. Well, that's not the case for John Wall. Okay, they said that pretty much he's going to well, he decided to go ahead and continue to sit because they haven't reached an agreement, and I already know what it is. He doesn't want to be a number two or a backup or even coming off the bench for a complimentary role. I've already said that. I've already stated that. You see, it comes a point in time in your career where you have to come to your senses. And really, man, you're supposed to come to your senses a long time ago. If you're not, what you used to be, you know what I'm saying? That could be hard to fathom with. That could be hard to come to grips with. Uh, especially when you got people telling you that, hey, you're not as good as you once were, 4 to 5 years ago. That could be that's a hard pill to swallow. Um, I mean, John Wall is still, he could still bring value to a team, but it's not as a number one guy. It's just like what I was saying with the guy like OBJ or Odell Beckham Jr. You know, uh, you had superstar quality. And John Wall he was an all star. I wasn't gonna go say as far to say that he was a superstar, but he had superstar capability. You know what I'm saying? To one day you get up there, but it wasn't any work ethic or any desire or anything like that because he does work hard. He even took to Instagram and took to social media, telling everybody how he was frustrated while he was in the gym working out and stuff like that. I mean, that's all good. You know what I'm saying? But the fact is that these guys want to see you up against NBA level competition, performing better than what they have you projected as. Um, the thing that separates him and a guy like Boogie Cousins is, believe it or not, for all the hell that Boogie Cousins takes about him, his attitude and him not willing to take a back seat and all this other stuff. That's not the case with Boogie Cousins, because I'm pretty sure there have been big men that have mentored Boogie Cousins because he's worked on his attitude. If you look at Boogie Cousins now professionalism over the last couple of seasons, man, you wouldn't even know Boogie Cousins is there with the professionalism that he displays, because the man is, he knows that, okay, hey, look, I'm not a superstar or anything like that any longer, but I could still be valuable to a team. I could still help out, some young guys. But when you have a big ass ego, it's not gonna work out that way. It's just not gonna work out that way. You know, listen, some people can't handle, certain truths, and this isn't to down John Wall or anything like that, but when you come in as a top 5 pick, top 10 pick, even just first round in general, even second round, you're still gonna have an ego. Regardless, you're gonna feel like, man, I'm still that guy. And rightfully so. You should have some sort of ego, like, that is gonna propel you in terms of your confidence in order for you to succeed or to compete against the opposition. Because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is. That's just the number one fact. Uh this is this is what I think John Wall needs to do. He needs to go ahead, play the complimentary role, and when he's out there, perform how he needs to perform. And then when something else becomes available and other teams reach and grab, get in another situation or do your best to get up in another situation. It might take a little longer, given that you're not what you once used to be, and given more importantly, it's two things too. Another two things. It's his contract. It's also his contract and the injury history. The injury history. He's proven that he could get up and down the floor and do all that other stuff. We know that he could do that, but it's also the contract. We talking about 99 mil. So if I'm John Wall, yes, continue to be in the gym. Continue to, work out hard as hell. You see, it worked out for Melo, and now, Boogie Cousins too. Because I think that Boogie Cousins is going to get a lot of opportunity in Milwaukee. I think that he is. Uh, you know, Milwaukee's starting to climb now, and they got a lot of. I think they have a lot of tricks up their sleeve, so to speak. While everybody's talking about, the Golden State and the Phoenixes, which they are killing right now, and you can't blame everybody for talking about them. You know, John Wall, man, he's he's a guy that I actually did like coming out of Kentucky. The only thing that used to drive me crazy about John Wall sometimes that I wish that he would have not did so much was he was always dunking with his left hand. You know what I'm saying? He would always jump. I'd be like, man, when is you gonna just dunk with your right hand? More often or something like that. I know it's silly to say something like that, but besides that, I used to love the way he would his speed. I mean, his speed was something else. Especially coming out of Kentucky and everything. But you have to understand that when you get all those injuries and it starts to take a toll on you, it can rob you of your athleticism. And a lot of other guys that say didn't have as much skill and they rely heavily on their athleticism, you see that they're not able to transition their game. They're not able to revolutionize their game, or I should say, be a renaissance man, sort of like what Carmelo Anthony is doing, and that's what John Wall has to do. He's gonna have to be the complimentary role. Boogie Cousins has proven that he could. If you want to put him off the bench and him just to be, a backup role or something like that, that's fine. Now, I myself personally, I think that Boogie Cousins can, be a backup role. You know what I'm saying? And he doesn't mind doing it. I think honestly, in his heart of hearts, besides just being in the league and being around the guys and being close to the game and finishing out and everything, because he's only 31. I think that he wants a ring. I think that he wants a championship on his resume. You know, I think that that's what he wants. Me looking at John Wall, I don't get the same type of vibe, and that's not knocking him, but I just don't get that. I don't get that vibe that he wants to win or wants a championship, because you got to think about it. Boogie Cousins was in a winning environment in Golden State, actually multiple winning environments, or two winning environments. When you talk about the Lakers, to an extent or whatnot, and then Golden State. So he was in a winning. He was placed in a winning situation in a winning environment, and I think that that's what he wants. He wants a ring. You know, everybody's always talking about, oh yeah, he just, he wants to play for his stats and all this other stuff. Man, Boogie, I don't think Boogie cares about that. I don't think Boogie cares about that. I think he cares about, hey, I'm gonna go up in here, I'm gonna contribute and do what's necessary, and that's what he done. That's why you don't really hear that much from him. The only blow up that he had was with Silas, and I believe that Silas instigated that whole thing. I don't think Silas is as likable of a person as he may come off to be. Because now that I think about it, I'm like, okay, you guys are 2-18, and then I also listen. I know James Harden. He didn't make the situation better coming in overweight and all that stuff and partying and stuff like that. But at the same token, okay, you clashed with three guys already. Three two or three guys that are all stars or whatever, that were all-star caliber players, and one superstar in James Harden. Well, Boogie was a superstar at one point too. So I'm looking at Silas suspect, and I'm going to talk about Silas because I can't sit up here and duck any type of, or give him from any type of smoke. You know what I'm saying? Because he's got to get it too. He definitely got to get it, because I believe that there's something going on, because we're sitting up here, we're talking about these other players. I'm thinking there's something fishy about Silas that nobody's not saying, but everything's starting to come out. Everything, about him clashing with other players and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And I know he's getting into it with management and stuff like that, but I think that Silas is not as a likable person as people perceive him to be. Yeah, uh, Paul Silas, you know what I'm saying, his father and stuff was, came off as a great guy, but I don't feel that from him. I thought when he came to H Town, he was gonna he was gonna make an impact. At least that's what he talked up in the press conference, but it hasn't happened. And he's had his opportunity. Now they're 2-18. So you do the math on that. Like this video, share it, subscribe, hit them notifications. Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment. I'll get at y'all later.